Today we're going to plant some Silver Queen sweet corn and some peanuts that I have left over from the peanuts that I put into grow bags earlier this week, so you can check that out if you want. But peanuts take nitrogen from the air and they put it into the ground, and corn uses a lot of nitrogen. So I'm hoping if I plant the two of them together, we'll get some good companion growth. So my plan is to put some corn up and down through this raised garden bed that I built, and then we'll fill it out with peanuts in the areas that are left. But the first thing I need to do is I need to get my shovel and dig up this old dirt. This year I'm planting Silver Queen sweet corn. This corn is one of a slower producing type. It takes about 88 days, which in corn is a long time because nowadays you can get it for a lot faster. It's not one that you see much anymore, and so I'm going to plant it this year. One thing, if I was going to do corn, would be to maybe do different types of corn that will produce at different times of the year, because that will make it so that you have corn throughout the fall or late summer, and you're not getting a whole bunch of corn at one time. You will get cross-pollination with corn, so you either have to keep them away from each other, or if they're pollinating at different times, then it won't really matter because the pollen won't get to the other corn. Silver Queen corn loses sweetness pretty quick, so you do kind of have to pick it and eat it right away, which it's a very sweet corn, which we do like. You know, you're going to have to eat it right away, and so you don't have a lot of time for it to store. And most of the corn that's grown in the United States isn't even sweet corn. It's corn that you're going to feed to animals or make ethanol with or different types of thing, at least in Iowa. So sweet corn is a little bit different. You can grow it in your yard. It does grow pretty well. You do have to remember that it takes a little bit of work. Silver Queen corn is on the sweeter end of the sweet corns, and that makes it really easy just to go grab a cob off of a stalk and take some bites of it during the summer. All right, so here I am. I'm all ambitious. I'm going to start planting the corn. I have some organic feed that I'm putting with the corn. It's for corn. It has a lot of nitrogen. It's a 6 for the nitrogen. Corn takes a lot of nitrogen, especially when it's young and when it's getting a lot of new growth on it. And so you have to make sure that you're getting lots of nutrients in the ground for the corn. As I was digging, I was finding lots of roots from last year, and so I was just pulling those out. And the reason I'm doing a voiceover on this is just because it was too hot as I was working, and I kind of was tired and was just starting to put them in. I was trying to keep them nice and neat, so I was focusing on that. One of the cool things about corn is that it'll pollinate itself, and so corn is typically pollinated by the wind. And so you do need wind, and you do need a lot of corn in a small area, which is what I have right here. So pollen will start at the tassels, and it'll go down to each cob, and each cob has silks. And each silk on the cob goes to one corn seed. So each silk has to have some pollen on the end of the silk, and it goes down the silk to the corn seed. If you don't do that, you could get a corn with no seeds, or like I did last summer, I had some that had one seed. So one way to get around that is to grab a tassel from the top and kind of rub it on all of the silks when they're at the time of year when the pollen is producing. And then you'll make sure that every corn has the pollination that it needs. So here I decided I'm just going to throw all of it into the dirt. And then here are my peanuts, which I decided I had extra peanuts, so I'm going to just grow them with my corn. And so to be fully honest, I got hot and kind of tired, and so I just threw the rest of the corn on the ground, and I threw all the peanuts in there too. And then we're just going to see how they go this summer by letting them all grow together. I don't know what it'll do. It'll probably just be a whole mess of peanuts and corn, and we'll see what happens. But I was tired and I was ready to go. So complete honesty, I kind of just gave up halfway through because it was hot, and I was like, you know what, we're good, let's go. Well, I just threw my corn and peanuts in this raised bed. I really didn't do anything special. This just turned into a test now to see what will happen. It's hot, and I don't think that this raised bed is gonna stay here forever, so we're gonna give it one more summer. We're just gonna throw it up and see what happens. So we'll see.